my friend Catherine, Friday. Her name is Friday, but of course today is Wednesday. So we begin with 15 strategies to make your organization more likable. If you are tweeting along, we're going to recommend that you tweet using hashtag live session. I'll share that with the world right now. Tweet using hashtag live session. And my friends from Likeable Media, as well as my friends from BrandSquare, are going to be monitoring that and checking it out and answering questions and comments. And who knows, I may even give away a prize or two to those that are tweeting with hashtag live session. So if you're not yet on Twitter, you better jump on Twitter right now. Speaking of Twitter, my Twitter handle is @DaveKerpen. I'm the CEO of a company called Likeable Media, @Likeable Media, and you can tweet either me or @Likeable Media if you have any questions anytime. I am, one of my core values, one of my personal core values, and one of our company's core values is responsiveness. So I sleep from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day, but I am available to answer your questions on Twitter the other 20 hours a day, give or take the occasional hour or two with my family, which I like to hold dear. But outside of that, you can tweet me anytime. You can also tweet my company @Likeable Media for a faster response. And now I have a fabulous book team as well. So if you have any questions about the book, you can. Oh, thanks BrandSquare for sharing that. If you have any questions about the book, you can also tweet @LikeableBook anytime, and my fabulous Likeable Book team will answer your questions and engage with you on Twitter there. So, 3 quick warnings about social media before we jump into my strategies for you all. Number 1, social media is not free. In fact, it's very expensive. Now, the hard costs with social media are much, much less than the hard costs with linear media. You can buy Facebook ads and Twitter ads, but they're not nearly the cost as television, radio, print, linear media. But the major cost of social media is time. It takes a lot of time to do social media well. Either your time or your staff's time or interns' time or your agency's time. If you're going to do social media well, it takes a long time. Speaking of time, it does not happen overnight. If you run a huge radio buy, you can get instant results. If you run a huge Google search campaign, you can get instant results. With social media, you will never get instant results. It's going to take time, but the beauty is, over the course of time, as you build relationships with people, you get really powerful results over the long haul. And finally, I really should finish my Altoids before I do a live webinar. I haven't done one of these on camera before, my bad. Finally, social media cannot make up for a bad product or service. In fact, if you have a bad product or service, social media makes it worse. So when folks come to me saying, we want some of that social media, I say, well, let's look at your product or service first before you even get into social media and fix it. Thank you, Megan. Like is the new link. So on the day, we rescheduled this from last week, and by the way, thank you very much to all of you guys for your patience about that. I had a death in the family last Tuesday, and so the funeral was last Wednesday, and so that's why I couldn't do it. But in the time since it was originally scheduled, and now Google launched their newest social product. It's called Google Plus. You probably have already heard about it. If not, you'll hear about it soon. We blogged about it today. Despite all of Google's attempts, though, Facebook has become the new internet. The internet that Google organized and owned, essentially, over the last 10 years around links and information is being reorganized by Facebook very quickly around likes, recommendations, and real people. Facebook just topped 750 million users, and they're still growing at the rate of between 700,000 and 1 million users a day. They're going to top 1 billion users by the end of this year or early next year, which essentially is half of the world that's on the internet. So, and moreover, when you need information, it's always better to get that information from friends rather than strangers. So the example I use in the book is a back doctor. The example I use in the book's trailer video is a dentist. If you needed a dentist 10 years ago, you had a really bad toothache, you needed a dentist, you might look up dentists in the yellow pages. No one would even think about doing that now. If you needed a dentist a year ago, or 2 years ago, maybe even today, you might look up dentists on Google, and what will you find? Dentists that have done a good job with SEO or paid search. Well, if you looked up if you looked up a dentist on Facebook, you could find dentists that your own friends like and recommend. So who wouldn't do that? And how far away are we from an internet where anything that you want or need you can get based on recommendations from your friends, whether it's a flower bouquet based on likes from 1-800-Flowers, or a new stroller for your toddler, or a new soup recipe, or a new accountant, or a new law firm. Any product or service that you want or need, you can get. If you can get it based on your own friends' likes and recommendations, it's more valuable. And the web that I see quickly developing is really a web where Facebook is the power broker instead of Google now. So before we get started with the strategies, I want to share this this comic from BrandSquare. And most of you at this point probably have a Facebook page for your company. I see a whole bunch of agencies here that I'm sure have lots of Facebook pages for their clients. And this is what I see, especially for small businesses, a lot of the Lug Nuts Facebook page. I don't know what's wrong. We posted our brand of Lug Nut to every social media site and no one's talking about us. Must be a technical error. We do have 5 fans. That's the 5 of us. Ask for a refund. There's still a lot of this going on. And people and businesses know that there's this huge promise and excitement and potential with Facebook. They don't yet know how to really tap into it. So they jump on and they start talking all about themselves. And of course, no one wants to hear from Lug Nuts. I don't want to hear from Lug. I don't want to hear anything from Lug Nuts. But if I'm the sort of person that would buy Lug Nuts, maybe there's content that they could share that I would find interesting and shareable and likable. So maybe the Lug Nuts company might want to target auto mechanics and create a community where auto mechanics can share and connect with one another. And Lug Nuts can ask questions like, what's your biggest accomplishment in fixing a car? And how important is price versus value to you when you're outsourcing product and when you're buying products for your mechanic for your shop? If they're sharing content and creating value that appeals to their target audience, it doesn't matter whether they're talking about Lug Nuts or not, because at the end of the day, if they're creating a successful community and I have a need for Lug Nuts, I'm going to buy them from the Lug Nuts company. If, on the other hand, Lug Nuts is always talking about them, then there's nothing going on, no one's going to join the community, and they're not going to get anywhere. Alright, so here is your first and last plug for the book. And we're gonna zip through 15 of the 18 ways here, and then of course this whole thing is being recorded. So even though I talk fast, I'm a fast-talking New Yorker, and even though that this deck, I'm gonna actually skip over a whole bunch of slides because Megan from my team was very aggressive and with the slides, and there's just no way on earth I can get through this. I promise you, A, this is recorded. B, we will post all these slides for everyone. In fact, these slides probably are posted, Megan, already? Yeah. So we'll send out a link on SlideShare and Twitter to where you can get all these slides later, so please don't worry about taking fast and furious notes. Strategy number 1, listen first and never stop listening. Listening has always been 50% of communication. I like to say anyone that's ever dated or been in a relationship knows how important listening is. That's right, guys. And yet, with marketing, we've always spent most of our time, energy, and money on the talking part of communication and not the listening. Maybe we did some focus group testing, some survey, market research, but we didn't really truly listen. Now, with social media, we have the opportunity to listen to infinite amounts of data about what our customers are talking about, what our competitors are talking about, what our prospects are talking about. Any conversation that our potential customers would say, we can listen to and use this feedback and engage in conversation. And listening is absolutely the number one benefit of social media, and the ability to not only listen but then do something with all of that massive amounts of data and conversation that you can listen to. And to drill this point home, I want to share this story. Now, I already see some of you on this webinar that have attended other sessions of mine. So at this point, I'm sure a few of you have heard this story. So I apologize if you have heard it already. But nonetheless, I do love to tell this story because to me, it not only drives home the point about listening, but for many senior executives, it drives home the point about Twitter. And Twitter, to a great extent, still is very, very unknown. There are lots of folks that are on Twitter, but when I speak, I always ask, how many of you are on Twitter? And then I ask, how many of you are super knowledgeable and understand what the heck Twitter is about? And then I ask, how many of you know at least one senior executive that really totally does not get Twitter? And of course, so many people say that they know senior execs that don't, in fact, get Twitter. So about a year and a half ago, I was waiting to check in at the Aria. I had come off about a 5-hour flight. You guys heard this story before? Yeah? Okay. I had come out of over a 5-hour flight, and I was exhausted and I was frustrated, and I was waiting to check in at the Aria, which was the hippest hotel at the time, over 45 minutes. And so, of course, I did what any big social media nerd would do. I tweeted something like, "This can't possibly be worth the wait over 45 minutes at the Aria. Pound fail." Right? So for those of you not into social media, that's Twitter lingo for you guys suck. So the Aria was not listening. The Aria did not respond to my tweet. The Rio, on the other hand, was listening, and the Rio responded to my tweet. And at this point in the story, sure enough, senior execs far and wide get so excited about the ROI of social media, and they say, "Well, what did the Rio tweet? Come on over, we'll take care of you, we got a room for you." No, no, no. Had they tweeted that, I would have thought, sort of creepy that they're checking me out this closely. And why is it wide open at the Rio? Maybe it's not as happening as what's going on at the Aria. No. On the contrary, they tweeted, "Sorry you're having a bad experience, Dave. Hope the rest of your time in Vegas goes well." Sorry you're having a bad experience, Dave. Hope the rest of your time in Vegas goes well. Guess where I stayed the next time I went to Vegas? And by the way, I liked the Rio on Facebook, and a friend of mine sent me a Facebook message saying, "Hey, I'm having a family reunion for New Year's. Do you recommend the Rio?" And I said, "Well, I know they have great customer service. They really listen." She brought 20 people to stay out at the Rio. So one tweet, one like, thousands of dollars worth of business. And would any of you marketers argue that that tweet from the Rio was a marketing message or a sales message? I don't think so. They were just listening and acknowledging, and yet that alone was enough to drive thousands of dollars worth of business. Strategy 2 is to think and act like your consumer in everything that you do. And I want to talk a little bit about this crazy formula right here. If you have seen this formula before, please raise your hand in here. Let's see if I can see this chat room. Not a lot of comments. Oh, there is some comments in the chat. Here we go. Say hi. Not a lot of comments in the chat. That's okay. In any case, this is Facebook's algorithm for determining what shows up in your newsfeed. It's called EdgeRank. And essentially, oh, I'm glad you're tweeting. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Essentially, this determines what shows up in all of your news feeds on Facebook. And in my humble opinion, this is the single most important innovation of our time. It's freaking huge. Let me tell you why. First, let's turn to email. This is my smartphone. Let's go Mets. All day long, I struggle to get through emails. Is there anyone you know that loves email, that loves getting email all day? I don't know anyone that loves getting email all day. 90% of email is unwanted, and it might not be like spam, illegal unwanted, but it's just, it's reply alls where somebody insists upon replying, CCing everyone in the company. It's a mailing list that you signed up for that you really don't want to get every day.
But then everyone was like so drunk, I was just so out of
Either way, you don't really want it at the time that you get it. Email. Newsfeed optimization, EdgeRank, judges what's most relevant and interesting and serves you that content in your Facebook newsfeed. So the average person has 130 friends on Facebook and likes between 10 and 20 brand pages on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's 140 to 150 pieces of data that you could be getting at any given time. But EdgeRank serves you the most interesting and relevant data based on this crazy formula, which in essence takes into account how strong your relationship is. So I see information from my wife. I don't see updates from my second cousin that friended me 2 years ago. I see updates from my clients because I interact with them a lot. I don't see updates from a movie that I liked a year and a half ago and never interacted with since. It also rewards multimedia, so videos, links, pictures. And most important, it rewards comments and likes. So literally how likable your update is going to determine whether it makes it into the news feeds of your users and your likers. And this is an amazing thing for consumers. This is the best. This means the cream literally rises to the top. We don't get spammed in our news feeds with marketing messages the way we're getting spammed via email, with unwanted emails. And yet, it's a real challenge for marketers. It means that marketers need to share likable, valuable, engaging content. But if you get it, it's a huge, huge opportunity, because this means that everyone's on a level playing field. So if ExxonMobil, with apologies to ExxonMobil if you're on the call, I don't think you are, if ExxonMobil has 10 million fans and shares an update saying, come to our gas stations today, and people don't comment on that and people don't like it, but Joe's Pizzeria, who only has 100 likes, shares an update saying, what's your favorite topping? And people start commenting pepperoni and artichokes. I love artichokes. And anchovies. That update goes to the top of people's news feeds. Joe's Pizza beats ExxonMobil because of the valuable, likable content. What a huge win and huge opportunity.
3 miles,
Thank you, Brandy. By the way, I really love feedback. I'm very, very interactive, and this feels very one-sided since I'm not on Twitter. So feel free, like Brandy Wilson and Alex Katz are doing, to jump in there with little comments. I really appreciate that along the way. I know that folks are on Twitter, but at the same time, it makes it more fun for me. So thank you very much. Here's an example of the news feed. That's me, by the way, and that's my beautiful wife. She's the best. Strategy 3, compel your customers to be your first fans. I'm always getting people saying, Dave, we're working so hard, we're not getting likes, nobody likes us. Well, does anyone know who you are? Do you have a very strong brand? The first people to like you need to be your customers, your vendors, your partners, your staff. All the natural constituencies should be the first people to like you. And even for them, don't just tell them to like you, give them the value prop. What's in it for them? Everywhere I turn, I see, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our newsletter. Why? What's in it for me? You've got to give that call to action. This is my dentist and my friend, and also happens to be Mark's dad. He is a dentist up in Dobbs Ferry, as you can see. He has over 1,000 likes. Most of his patients have liked him. Who's going to like a dentist unless you go to them and know them? So to me, he's done a great job of getting his customers to like him first. And in the waiting room, there's a call to action to like him. On emails, there's a call to action to like him and stay up to date. When you see him, when you go visit him in person, it's have you liked us on Facebook yet? So he really integrates it into his entire business. And here are the top 10 reasons consumers like fan pages on Facebook. I'm not going to go through them all, but numbers 1, 2, and 3 to receive discounts to show support for the brand to get a freebie. Bottom line is you've got to figure out a way to provide that value. What's in it for people to like you? So in the product space, you might want to give away samples or do a deep discount. By the way, 10% off.
What is it? Just not loading?
That's marketing. That's not value. 50% off is value. 10% off is marketing. Don't do 10% off. Do real offers or free samples or bonuses or gifts with purchase. For professional services, you can do white papers, PDFs, blog articles, access to the leading minds, etc. You can always be more entertaining. Patty's asking about B2B, and I don't think the rules are that different for B2B. I really don't, because there's no such thing as B2B. There's no such thing as selling to a business. Yeah. You're always selling to a person.
Yeah, like I like this.
Still, you're always marketing to a person. At the end of the day, even if it's multiple people, there are real people that are making decisions in B2B. So you still want to build a community and apply all these strategies for those people in B2B. And if customers are competitors, Crystal's asking, what do you do if customers are competitors? Yes. There's lots of my competitors out there. I still share all this information. 2 people have actually walked up to me and said, Dave, we love all of your free information. We've actually started our own social media agency thanks to all of the great stuff you've shared. It happens. But you also build up a great reputation. The more you do in social media, the better your reputation. And honestly, I wouldn't worry about your competitors at all at this point. Just keep doing great stuff and know that people will come to you. That pull marketing really will work. All right, we're getting tons of questions now, so I think I should hold off on some of the questions to the end, since some of these questions are so random. But I promise you, I will. Crystal, let's take that offline. I will follow up with you. I'm happy to do that. And yes, thank you for answering some of those questions, BrandSquare. And let's move on. Respond quickly to all bad comments. This isn't happening as much, but certainly over the last couple of years, I've gotten many a corporate executive that wants to delete a comment. No. What if people say bad things? Delete it. Delete it. Well, what's going to happen if you delete someone's comment? They're just going to get angrier and louder and talk somewhere else. On the other hand, if you embrace it and you respond to it, you can really create some nice wins here. To me, you would never hang up the phone on someone if they called you to complain. So to me, to not answer, to not respond to somebody on Facebook or Twitter is like hanging up the phone on them, except doing it in front of, say, 750 million people. It's just not cool. What can you do? You can respond publicly saying that you're going to solve the problem privately. So, sorry you're having a problem. I've sent you a private message to fix it. That tells the world that you're the kind of company that cares, but it de-escalates the problem and moves it to a private space where you can solve the problem. So here's a couple of examples. Taylor Graziano writes, pancake pockets are the worst things I've ever tried. They made me throw up of their strawberry disgust. Entenmann's responds, hey Taylor, thank you for your feedback. Did you heat them or eat them at room temperature? We're really sorry you had a bad experience. That's okay, everything else is great. Thanks so much. Amazing how a quick I'm sorry can change things around. I really believe the 2 most important words in social media are I'm sorry. Just say you're sorry. It's not that hard. And people feel so much better once they feel heard. This is my all-time favorite though. Roy Umstadt Einhoff. hey Verizon, why won't you give me my money back? I signed up for your Verizon bundle pack and I'm paying $300 a month and my service is supposed to cost about $120. We call you every month and the problem is never fixed. Funny thing is I know of about 10 other people you're doing this to. Telling them one price and billing them another and not refunding money when you admit you are wrong. You guys suck. And a lawsuit may be in your near future. Have a great day, you bunch of crooks. Now, my fabulous clients did not want to delete this, but there would be many a corporate executive out there that would want to delete this comment immediately. Of course, we did not. We responded, sorry you're having a problem. We've sent you a private message to get it fixed right away. Then we sent them a message. Then we routed the problem to Verizon. And just a few days later, the same exact person wrote on the Facebook page, I want to thank fans of Fios for fixing my billing problem. Devin was awesome and I would like to thank her for her help. Had a regional manager call us today and went over the bill, corrected our bill. Thank you. And for the record, I love the Fios service and the extreme internet package makes me jump up and down every time I download anything or play a game. Thank you, Verizon Fios. No more crookcast for us. That's the same exact person. Is there anyone out there that thinks what we did was marketing? And yet, this person went from a raving hater in front of tens of thousands of people on this Facebook page to a raving fan in front of tens of thousands of people on this Facebook page. That is word of mouth marketing, to me, at its best. Now, this is hard to scale. And there are lots of large organizations that have said, how do we do this? It's too hard. How do we respond to everything? We have millions of fans. We have hundreds of thousands of fans, etc. We think it's possible. I think it's in fact going to be a best practice within a couple of years that all companies do this. And no matter how big your company is, you have resources, whether it's internal or agency or intern. There's lots of opportunities there. We operate pages with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, over 1 million fans, and we're able still to respond to everyone. So, I think it's worth it. Now, if you think it's hard to respond to all the negative people, I'm actually going to tell you to respond to the good comments too. It's also really important. If you were the manager of a furniture store, and somebody walked up to you and said, you know, I just want to let you know, I love your store. I've been coming here for years. The furniture I get is great. The service is great. Everyone takes care of me. I just love everything about you guys. Great job. Would you say, hold on, I got to help. There's a customer complaining in this other aisle. Hold on, I got to go. Of course not. You would probably give them a hug or give them some free product or coupons or something. You would be so happy. And yet, many companies are ignoring the good stuff out there on Facebook and Twitter. The people that are going out of their way to saying nice things, those are your ambassadors of Quan, to quote my favorite movie, Jerry Maguire. Second favorite. These people can be responded to, and you can actually really have a lot of fun with this. You can really respond in your authentic brand voice. So, whether it's formal or informal, fun or flirty, expert or kind, generous or silly, however you respond, you know, I said the two most important words in social media are I'm sorry. The next two most important words in social media are thank you. Just say thank you and say it in a whole bunch of different ways. We have a client, Cumberland Farms. They have a product called Chill Zone, and it's a teen. It skews almost all teen. Teens love it. It's a Slurpee-like beverage up in New England. So when somebody writes, when Ben Silver writes, sometimes I just lay under the faucet and chug Chill Zone until I pass out, Chill Zone responds, ha ha, what a baller. That's their way of saying thank you. What's your way of saying thank you? Finally, there will be those of you that say, Dave, it's not possible, we just don't have the resources to respond to anyone and everyone. To which I say, until you have all the resources in place to respond to anyone and everyone, check out services like Clout, where you can determine who is more influential than the others and respond based on priority, based on their clout. Again, I want to be very clear about this. I believe you should respond to anyone and everyone out there. But the reality is, if you have a huge organization and you can't respond to anyone and everyone at the same time, then if somebody with 100,000 Twitter followers is more valuable to respond to than somebody with 10,000 Twitter followers, which is better than somebody with 10 Twitter followers. Somebody with 5,000 Facebook friends is probably worth responding to faster than somebody with 5 or 50 Facebook friends. It's just a reality, and it's only going to get, you're going to have more and more opportunities to see how influential people are before you respond, or before you decide how quickly you want to respond. The truth is, the Rio was surely not responding to every single person that complained about a Vegas hotel, but maybe because they saw my tweet, maybe because I happen to have a lot of followers or whatever, they were following me. Be authentic. Let's give away a prize on Twitter, and who's doing this? Is this Andrew? Who's you guys are so quiet. Gloria, I want you to give a prize, a book. Did everyone get books for this session? Okay, I don't think we gave away. Did we give you guys all books? Can you guys just update there, Brandy or one of my friends here? Did we give away books to everybody? No. Okay, thank you. So I will give away an autographed copy of the book to the first person that tweets using the hashtag live session, the actor on Facebook that has the most likes. The actor on Facebook who has the most likes wins an autographed copy of Likeable social media. Although I'll warn you, I think that the book loses value if I sign it. It becomes used. I'm just saying. Alright, so I'm looking for the first person to tweet the actor that has the most likes on Facebook, and they will win a copy of the Likeable social media, and they have to use the hashtag #LiveSession. Thank you. Have to use the hashtag live session. Do we have a winner? Gloria. We don't have a winner yet? Well, I can't reveal the next slide. But what I can say is that authenticity is important. Even for brands, which is hard, dig deep and figure out how you can be authentic. Boy, I get slower and slower with these things. I'm only 6 down. I got 9 to go. So it's going to be tough, Megan, to make it. It's not Ashton Kutcher. No, it is not Ashton Kutcher. I'll give you a clue. Initials VD. That's very easy. You got Charlie Sheen, Demi Moore. I'm seeing a whole bunch of guesses here in the chat. But of course, I did ask you. I did say I'd give the prize on Twitter. I did say that. So to be fair, maybe I'll move on. No prize. And I'm sorry. Nobody got it. All right. Yeah, Alex got it. He's not tweeting. I'm going to give you the prize, Alex Katz from Toronto. Unless right now, last chance on Twitter. No. Alex Katz, you win. Ashton Kutcher, Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel has the most likes on Facebook. Vin Diesel? Exactly. That's my reaction too. Is Vin Diesel the best looking? Is Vin Diesel the best actor? Is Vin Diesel the best at anything? I don't know. But he's the best at being authentic. And he shares stories. And he shares pictures. And he shares his true self. How can you, as a brand, tap into some of the juice that Vin Diesel's got going? Share your authentic self. Share the behind the scenes. Share the real personalities behind the business and behind the brand. Should you ask a lot of questions? Yes. We did a study that looked at status updates that posed a question, asked fans to like it, announced winners of a Facebook contest, and everything else. And lo and behold, in 100% of cases, the engagement rates were higher for posts that asked fans to like this. In 9 out of 10 cases, the status updates that posed a question were 2 to 6 times as engaging. If you don't ask a question, you're not going to get an answer. So use Facebook and Twitter instead of broadcasting to ask questions. And even when you broadcast it with a question, right? What did you think of this? What do you think of our product? Ask it as a question. You'll be much, much more likely to get an answer. Provide value. I talked about that earlier. Give it away. We have updated our Facebook page as a social media agency probably 800 plus times. We've probably only promoted ourselves 10 or so times out of 800. We provide value. We share articles, blogs, tips, resources, and we have fun. And it's that value that pays off in the trust and the reputation over long term. If you're a product company, give away products, give away stuff. Extra gives away gum. Every single person who liked their page got some free gum. That's pretty cool. Obviously, there's a cost there, but long term, thanks, Gloria, you're here. Long term, it pays off in the loyalty. Share stories. Stories, I really believe, are the social currency of the new web. And it used to be, if you wanted to tell a story, it was a 30-second spot, right? You know, you buy a 30-second spot on TV or radio to tell your story. Okay, that's great, but it's sort of expensive and it's a big production. Whereas with social media, you can tell a story in an update, you can tell a story in a tweet, you can tell a story in a picture, you can tell a story in a video, and you can make that video much, much easier. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a big production. Here's my story. One picture and 60 seconds of copy, or less. Two marketers wanted to get married, wanted a way to pay for the wedding, partnered with a minor league baseball team, sold all the inventory from the game. So 1-800-Flowers sponsored our flowers, David's Bridal sponsored our bridesmaids' gowns and wedding dress, Smirnoff sponsored our alcohol, and so on and so forth. We raised $100,000 to cover the cost of an amazing wedding for 500 friends and family, 5,000 strangers. The event was amazing for me because I got married to the love of my life. Also happened to be a really, really good promotion, got lots and lots of press, New York Times, CBS, ABC, etc. After the wedding, our vendor said to us, this was great, what are you guys doing next? We couldn't get married again, so we started a company. That's my whole story. I didn't need to buy a big TV spot. I just told it very quickly and succinctly. What's your story about your founders, about your staff, about your customers? Who's overcome an obstacle? What charity initiatives do you support? Every company has lots and lots of stories to tell, and social media is the perfect place to tell stories. The only thing better than sharing your story is inspiring your customers to share stories. How can you find the customers that have great stories to tell about your product or service? This is the I Love Mary at McDonald's in Chandler, Arizona Facebook page. That's right. McDonald's, a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company, spends as much as God. I mean, I guess it can't be more than God. Spends a lot of money on advertising. Has this Facebook page started by Delyn Lucas Bach in Phoenix, a customer of Mary. And it's very impressive to me that there are 1,400 members of the I Love Mary and McDonald's Chandler page. But even more impressive to me are the updates. Like from Sharon, I haven't seen Mary lately. Where has she been? From Margaret, Happy People Day, Mary. We love you in the Rocky Mountain region. And my personal favorite, from Dorothy, Mary is the best. This is the picture of us at my 40th birthday party on Saturday night. I'm speechless, and I'm never speechless. This is amazing. This is word of mouth, again, marketing gold. How can you find your Marys, and how can you find your Delyn Lucas Bachs? Integrate Facebook in the entire customer experience. It's not just about a Facebook page or a Twitter page anymore. It's about integrating it all throughout. One thing I love that Oreo does. Do I have any? I do. On every single package of Oreos, you've got this call to action. Dunk or don't. Which side are you on? Facebook.com/Oreo. This is a deep, real, meaningful integration. This is so much bigger than, you know, a little Facebook icon or a little like us on Facebook. Why? What's in it for me? This is dunk or don't. Which side are you on? So I'm a dunker. I dunk. So as soon as I saw this, I went to Oreo's page, and guess what? Of course you can't post unless you like the page already. So when I tell you guys to ask me any questions at Facebook.com/Likeable Media, I'm secretly telling you to like us. I'm just not saying it in those words. It's about you, not me. So it's all in the way that you phrase this thing. By the way, on the left here, this is the single most underutilized mechanism on Facebook. You can text like space the name of a page to Facebook short code, which is FBOOK, which is 32665, to like any page from anywhere, from any mobile phone. It doesn't even have to be a smartphone, a mobile phone. So imagine if you're a restaurant, you have, while people are waiting for their table, you know, like us right now, text like space my restaurant to 32665, and you'll get a free appetizer next time you come in. Bam, win. Or you're a brand that spends lots of money on stadium sponsorships, and Oh, thanks, Lori. I really appreciate that. And Brandy, you guys rule. Imagine you're a big company and you have stadium sponsorship. Instead of 30 seconds of saying, visit us at Oreo.com, why don't you say, hey, everyone, take out your smartphones and text like space Oreo to 32665. If we get 10,000 new fans in the next 60 seconds, we're giving away something really cool. Guess what? If you say that in front of 40,000 screaming fans at a baseball stadium, you just might get 10,000 fans in a matter of 30 seconds. Use Facebook ads. So you may have seen my slight bias. I'm not a huge fan of linear advertising, the TV ads and radio ads of the world, but I do love Facebook ads because of the possibilities. The possibilities are huge for targeting. So instead of just targeting 35 to 64 females, if you're a Chinese food restaurant in Cleveland, you can target people in Cleveland that like Chinese food. If you are a graphic design firm and you know that marketing directors are who hires you, you can target just marketing directors in your town. You can use interest targeting and companies to literally target people based around their job title, their interest, the companies that they work at. But the very best part of Facebook ads is actually this Friends of Connections ads. So when you target people using Friends of Connections ads, inside the ad it says on a personalized basis which of your friends like that company already. So let's say you're a very small business and you have 100 likes and you run a Friends of Connections ad. The average person has 130 friends, I said, so that ad is going to run for 13,000 people, and that ad is going to say your friend likes this page. Or if you have 1 million fans, because you're a big brand, you can run this ad for 130 million people. And again, this is built in. This is built in. Look at this ad I just saw from Tiger Direct. Need a geeky friend? Click like to become our fan. Jenna LaBelle likes this. My friend Jenna likes this. Jenna is telling me she likes Tiger Direct. So of course, I am going to click the like button. Imagine, let's just put this in perspective for a minute. Imagine you're watching TV one day, and in the corner of your television during the ad, you see a picture of your friend saying, hey, I like these guys. Check this place out. I really like it. Or you're listening to the radio one day, and at the end of the 30-second spot, you hear 6 of your friends, including Jenna, like this furniture store. That'd be amazing. You'd be like, oh, that'd be like the most amazing thing ever. And yet, Facebook has this right here. And you can really do nano targeting. So I took out an ad targeting 34-year-old female married employees of Likeable. The ad said, I love you, Carrie. She's the only person in the world that could see that ad. Now, you might not want to only target one person, although, by the way, this is fun, boys and girls. You do get nice brownie points from your husband and wife if you do this. But seriously, if you want to target 10 CEOs of the 10 biggest companies around, you can use Facebook ads to do that. I think that's pretty cool. Admit when you screw up and then leverage your mistakes. You know, people make mistakes all the time, and companies make mistakes all the time. That's okay. The problem is when they're so afraid to say I'm sorry, and the legal department gets involved, and it just becomes a big deal. It's not a big deal. Just say you're sorry. Just fix the problem. Loft had a problem where they shared pictures of these really skinny models in this new line, and their fans got really upset and posted, what's up with all these skinny models? Enough is enough. We want to see real people wearing your stuff. Well, the next day they apologized. They said sorry, and then they posted this. They posted pictures of their whole staff wearing the line. They admitted they made a mistake, and then they leveraged it. They fixed it. Consistently deliver excitement, surprise, and delight. This is a business principle as much as a social media principle, but the difference is, in business, when you surprise and delight a customer, that's a good thing. In social media, when you surprise and delight a customer, you're doing it in front of hundreds or thousands or millions of people that can see it as well. So our client Popcorners, if people tweet feed me Popcorners in the New York area, a truck shows up at their office and gives them free Popcorners. That's pretty freaking cool. We did a free Chill Zone day on Facebook. A lot of people showed up to get their free chill zones at Cumberland Farms. And finally, don't just sell. I know at the end of the day, it's about ROI. It's about driving new customers. But the way you're going to do it is by following these strategies and then making it compelling and easy for customers to buy. And I mentioned flowers earlier. You know, you can now buy flowers at facebook.com/1-800-Flowers. You don't even need to go to their website anymore. I think that's pretty cool. The sales funnel is longer with Facebook and with social media, but it's more powerful. So you have this extra engagement and likability thing going on here, but it does eventually lead to sales, and then moreover it leads to repeat engagement, which is the best part of this all. So I have a whole bunch of tactics in here. Don't be mad at me. I'm going to skip over them in the name of taking questions in the last few minutes. So just so you know what you'll be getting later when you look at this deck, and it's already posted on SlideShare, and I'll share the link with everyone. Actually, since it's already posted on SlideShare, let's have the team, maybe Gloria or somebody can share it right now in the chat. People can check it out right now. How do we get started today? Facebook. I will share this. I mentioned this earlier, but just so you see it again. The most engaging status updates, photos. Picture really is worth 1,000 words. Videos. Videos worth 1,000 pictures. Links, questions, and for the more advanced folks out there, interactive apps. Getting started on Twitter. Twitter can be confusing. You'll have the slides. No need to worry. YouTube. It all comes into play. LinkedIn, especially good in the B2B space. Blogging. And now, see, maybe I rushed too much. I have time to spare, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to ask questions. So here's what I'm going to do. You have me for another 9 minutes. Ask as many questions as you like. In 8 minutes, I'm going to give away a grand prize. We'll give away another autographed book. This exciting box of Oreo Cakesters. Hook me up. I'll get one of these. Something else good. Uh-oh. It's not what I'm supposed to look at. Let's go back. Let's go back. My computer's freaking out, Megan. I'm getting 10-minute warnings for my 3 o'clock meeting. Okay. This exciting giant thumb. And all the cash in my wallet. Yes. That's not much. $20. I'm being honest. There's nothing left. All right. So for the autographed copy of the book, the Oreo Cakesters, the thumb, and $20. This prize pack is valued at over $50. And it's yours. I'm going to choose one person at random that gives me feedback, because I'm addicted to feedback, on our Facebook page. So right now, while I answer questions, I'd love for you to post your questions at facebook.com/ post your feedback at facebook.com/likeable media. Share your thoughts. If you think I'm a total idiot, if you think I talk way too fast, if you think I wasted the last hour of your life, please let me know. You are eligible to win. If you got some value out of this presentation, if you enjoyed it, if you liked it, etc., I'd love to hear that too. I will choose one person at random that posts on our Facebook page in the next 8 minutes, facebook.com/likeable media. And in the meantime, let's take some questions. So post questions on Twitter, post questions in this question box. I'm actually going to go back and look at questions from earlier. I know there were some questions earlier. I'm going to scroll all the way up. Oh my God, lots of content. And then start answering some questions, scroll back down, and then we'll give away the grand prize and send us off on our wonderful day. But thank you again so much to the folks from BrandSquare. All right, Lori from Chicago. Why don't all people who like my Facebook page show up in my like count? They do? I'm not sure to answer that question, to be honest. I mean, all people who like your page should show up on your like count. Oh, I know why they don't. So because of privacy concerns. So you will have more likes. You can have more likes than you can see in your like count. Because If somebody's listed completely as private, then even you as a page administrator cannot access their actual profile. So for instance, I happen to do some work with Ashton Kutcher, so he is my friend and he likes us, but his content is his profile is totally set to private. So another administrator of the Likeable Media page can be going through the people that like us, and it would look like Ashton Kutcher does not like us. It would look like there's one fewer person in that list than the total number of likes we have. I think that should answer your question, Lori. Thanks, Gustavo. Thank you so much. Crystal asks, how do you get your customers to like you when your customers are competitors with each other? I remember that from earlier. Do they know each other? I'm not sure. I need to know a little bit more. You might want to create different communities for different competitors, right? So maybe if I don't want to be in a community with a competitor, I might join I am recording.